Hello everyone, hope you have a nice day and welcome back to my channel. Today we discuss about the international business environment. So an IBE refers to the surrounding in which international companies run their businesses. Therefore, people at the management level or managerial level must work on the factors of the international business environment. So, what is the international business environment and its key component? So, the IBE, International Business Environment, refers to the intricate economic, political, legal, and culture network influencing how organizations engage in international business activities. It comprises external and internal factors that impact a company's success or failures in various markets. So this concept involves comprehending the global influences that affect business of all sizes. These components shape how companies conduct their operations and decisions, so encompassing and microeconomic trends and geographical tensions. With globalization, businesses have expanded beyond local or regional market, bringing about new opportunities and challenges also. The difference between business environment and international business. So the international business is an exchange of goods and services that operates across national borders between two or more countries. So international business is also known as globalizations, whereas a business environment is the surrounding where global companies operate. Now, the primary elements in the international business environment, what are they? So, now I am describing about this. So, first of all, economic stability. This involves analyzing factors such as GDP growth, rates, inflation's currency, exchange rates, and trade barriers. And when selecting targets, nations for operations or investment, companies must consider how a country's economy may impact its cost structures and profitability also. Now, political stability. Political instability is another significant factor to consider when expanding abroad. Companies must be aware of uprising wars and other forms of conflict that can disrupt business operations. Additionally, government policies regarding taxes, regulations, and labor laws must be considered also. Now, geography. Geography is crucial in logistics, market access, and staff recruitment. The accessibility of nature or natural resources such as oil or minerals must also be considered based on the industry involved. Technology is increasingly important in international business operations due to communications and digital infrastructure advancement. Business must standard or understand how adopting new technologies might impact their competitive landscape or create new product or service opportunities also. Now, forms of business environment. First of all, cross border trading, that is import and export, then licensing, now franchising, then joint ventures and foreign district investment. And advantages of international business environment helps in expanding the business, explore to more customers, and helps in the effective management of the product lifestyle and helps in mutual growth also. Now, types of international business environment. Political environment in international business. The political environment refers to the type of government, the government's relationship with a business, and the political risk in the country doing business internationally. Therefore, implies dealing with a different types of government relationships and level of risk. So there are many types of political system. For example, multi-party democracies, one-party states, constitutional monarchies, and dictatorships, that is military or non-military. And therefore, in analyzing the political legal environment, an organization may broadly consider the following aspects. Now I'm describing this. So first of all, political system of the business. So the political systems of the business, approaches to the government toward business, that is restrictive and facilitating an incentive offered by the government, legal restrictions, for instance licensing requirements, reservations to a specific sector like the public sector, private or small scale sector, the restriction on importing technical know-how, capital goods and raw materials, the restrictions on exporting product and services, restrictions on pricing and distributions of goods, and procedural formalities required in setting the business also. Now, first of all, economic environment in international business. So, the economic environment relates to all the factors contributing to a country's attractiveness to foreign businesses. The economic climate can be very different from one nation to another. So, governments are often divided into three main categories: the more developed or industrialist, the less developed or third world, and the newly industrializing or emerging economics. So within each category, there are significant variations. Still, the more developed countries are the rich countries, the less developed, the poor ones, and the newly industrializing, those moving poorer to richer. And these distinctions are generally based on the gross domestic product per capita, GDP capita, that is, and better educations, infrastructure and technology, healthcare, and so on are also often associated with higher levels of economic development. So, the level of economic activity combined with education, infrastructure, and so on both impact nearly every aspects of the conducting business, and a firm needs to recognize this environment for successful international operations also. While analyzing the economic climate, the organization intending to enter a particular business sector may consider the following aspects. So, an economic system to enter the business sector, stage of economic growth and the space of growth, level of national and per capita income, incident of taxes, both direct and indirect tax, infrastructure facilities are available and the difficulties thereof, and availability of raw materials and components of the cost thereof, sources of financial resources and their cost, availability of manpower, managerial, technical, and workers available, and their salary and wages structures. Now, technological environment in international business. The technological environment comprises factors related to the materials and machines used in manufacturing goods and services. The receptivity or organizations of new technology and adoption of new technology by consumers influence decisions made in an organization. So, as firms do not have any control over the external environment, their success depends on how well they adapt to the external environment. And essential aspects of the international business environment is the level of adoption of technological innovations in various countries. So, the last decades of the 20th century was significant advances in technology, and this is continuing in the 21st century, where technology is often regarded as a source of the competitive advantage. As a result, companies strive to gain access to the latest technologies to stay competitive. It is easier than even for even small business plans to have a global presence thanks to the internet, which significantly grows their exposures, their markets, their potentials, customer base for economic, political, and cultural resources. Some countries are more accepting of technological innovations. Others are less accepting in analyzing the technical environment. The organizations may consider the following aspects that I described right now. First of all, level of technological development in the country as a whole and specific business sector, the space of technological changes and technological obsolescence also, sources of technology and restrictions of and facilitating for technology transfer and time taken for technology absorptions. Now, culture environment in international business. So the culture environment is one of the critical components of the international business environment and one of the most difficult to understand. So this is because the culture climate is essentially unseen. It has been described as a shared, commonly held body of general beliefs and values that determine what is right for one group. And according to the national culture is described as the body of the general beliefs and values that are shared by the nation's beliefs and values and are generally seen as formed by factors such as history, language, region, geographic locations, government and education. Thus farms begins a culture analyzes by seeing to understand these factors. The most well known is that developed by this model processes four dimensions of cultural values, that is individualisms, uncertainty, avoidance, power distance and masculinity. So now let's look at the each of the points. Individuals is the degree to which a nation values and encourages individual actions and decisions making. Uncertainty and avoidance is the degree to which a nation is willing to accept and deal with uncertainty. Power distance is the degree to which a nation accepts and sanctions difference power. These extensive utilizations of the culture values framework is due to its ability to gather data from diverse countries. So, numerous scholars and managers have discovered the value of this model in examining the management strategies also. Now, suitable for various cultural contexts in a nation high on individualism, one accept individual goals, individual tasks, and individual competitive environment. The competitive environment also changes from country to country. This is partly because of the economic, political, and cultural backgrounds. These environmental factors helps determining the type and degree of competitions that exist in a given country. And competitions can come from a variety of sources. It can be a public or a private sector, come from large or small organizations, be domestic or global, and stem from traditionals or new competitors. GST registrations for a domestic farm, the most likely sources of competitions might be well understood. The same is not the case when a person moves to compete in a new environment. Now, challenges in the international business environment. So, the IBE, that is international business environment, is complex and dynamic, making it challenging for companies to predict the outcomes of their decisions accurately. First of all, varying trade regulations. So, international trade regulations and policies differ from country to country, making it different or difficult for companies to comply with them universally. Competitive markets. International markets tend to be highly competitive due to variations in economic environments, political stability and cultural preference across the different countries. Language barriers. Language barriers can pose significant obstacles when conducting international business, and notably if a company needs more personal knowledge and knowledgeable about different cultures and languages. Cost fluctuations. International business may face higher productions or transportation cost due to exchange rate fluctuations or tax imposed by foreign operations. To navigate the IB successfully, companies need a comprehensive understanding of its intricacies because entering foreign markets these includes knowledge of local regulations, cultural backgrounds, and competitive landscape. By doing so, they can minimize risks associated with international business and leverage potential opportunities that come from operating in multiple tasks. Now, scope of international business. Understanding the scope of IBE international business allows companies to identify growth opportunities and devise appropriate strategies. Now, economics of scales. Companies can benefit from economics of scales and gain access to resources through international trade. Competitive advantages. Operating in multiple markets can offer competitive advantages such as lower production cost or tax incentives. Now, risk reductions. Knowledge about the international business environment helps organizations mitigate risk associated with foreign exchange rate fluctuations, political instability, and more. Now, innovations and flexibility. So, understanding the international business environment enables organizations to become more innovative and flexible in their operations, staying ahead of the competitions. And cultures diversity. Cultural diversity can be levers to create unique products and services that capture more significant markets. So, to summarize, the multinational corporation should collect informations on all environmental dimension also and adapt to the international business environment and identify vulnerable areas. It should look forward to a better environment and executions of business practices also. Now, business compliance keeping you awake. So, in the next part, the international business environment, we discuss about in details. So, international business refers on to trading service and goals in a worldwide market, as you all know. It can also be recognized as the globalization of trade that I mentioned earlier. So, an international business environment (IBE) involves different aspects like political risks, cultural differences, exchange risks, and legal and taxation issues also. So, thus, it is mandatory for the people at the managerial level to work on factors comprising the international business environment as it is crucial for a country's economy. Now, forms of international business environment, first of all, cross-border trading, export import, that is franchising, licensing, joint venture, foreign direct investment, that is FDI, types of international business. The various types of aspects of the international business environment are provides. The political environment means the political risk, the government's leaderships with a business, and the type of the government in the country conducting business internationally implies dealing with different kinds of government levels of risk and relationship. So there are different types of political systems such as I mentioned earlier, one party states, multi-parties democracies, the dictatorships, military and non-military. And now the uh, political systems of the business, approach of the government towards the business, that is facilitating the restrictions. Now, economic environment, international business. The economic environment refers to the factors contributing the country's attractiveness to the foreign businessman. It can differ from one nation to another. Better infrastructures, education, healthcare, technology, etc., are also often associated with high levels of economic development. The levels of economic activities combined with the infrastructure, education, and the degree of the government control affect the fates of the during or doing a business. So usually countries are divided into three main economic categories, that is industrialized or developed, less developed or third world, and the newly emerging industrializing economy. Now, economic systems consider the point economic systems to enter the business sector, a stage and space of economic growth, level of national GDP, incidence of taxes, available infrastructure, facilities available of components, sources of financial resources, and availability of workforce, managerial and technical works. And the technological environment includes factors related to the machines and materials used in manufacturing services and goals. As organizations do not have control over the external environment, their success depends how they will adapt to the external environment. The significant aspects of the international business environment is the level of the acceptance of technological innovation in countries. So that's the end of the video, my friends. If you like my channel or video, please subscribe, share and comments on my blogs. Thanks a lot for watching.